So for today's workout, I think I'm going to start off with some upper body and then move into some mobility and abs kind of stuff. Did some outdoor drills earlier this morning, but I'll talk more about that later. I kind of just want to get the workout started and over with. There's just a lot of people, and I got the cable machine, and I don't want to hog it for too long since it's what everybody wants. So starting off the workout with uh, flies to push-ups. So you'll have to see it to understand. So there's going to be a fly, then a push-up, then a fly, then a push-up. Then gonna do 10 flies, then 10 alternating rows, then 10 rows together. Well, not the ending is not 10 rows together. It's more like a face pull kind of thing, but I guess it's a row. I don't know. Make your own decisions. It's mostly for the back and the rear delts. In any case, all of that looks like this.
So decided to do a little bit of a voiceover to kind of explain the movement in the absence of the other microphone. So while staying in the push-up position, my core is involved and even having to rotate to bring the arms up for each cable fly um, also requires a lot of core activation and a lot of, I guess, unilateral recruitment of the core muscles. So a lot of stabilizers at work while also working the chest and getting it a little exhausted with that initial movement and now driving a lot of blood in to the chest with the flies. I'm a big fan of the flies to develop the chest. I think it develops the chest more so than dumbbell presses and uh, stuff like that. But that doesn't mean dumbbell presses aren't important. I just think from a shape perspective, cable flies seem to be a lot more effective. Now doing alternate cable rows, maintaining a straight and upright back throughout, and also bringing the cables more towards the upper part of the back in order to target more upper and mid back. Instead, if I wanted to um, uh, get the lower part of the back involved, I would bring the cable a little lower and maybe even step a little farther away and lean while performing the movement in order to get my lower lats involved. Um, and finishing off with two-handed rows.
So yeah, that's it for the first exercise. Gonna do 4 to 5 sets of it, and then on to the next one. So for the next exercise, it's gonna be a tricep. Starting off with alternate tricep pushdowns on the cable, then alternate uh, pull downs on the cable again, and then end off with alternate shoulder presses seated on the floor. All of that looks like this.
So with the alternate tricep pushdowns, one of the things that I really focus on is holding the like having a full tricep extension at the bottom. And to exaggerate the squeeze, I'm kind of pushing the handle with the palm and opening up my hand. You'll notice that my palm opens up or my fingers open up when I press the tricep, and I'm almost kind of trying to exaggerate the squeeze by pushing with the palm. That's a little cue that works for me in order to get the most out of tricep extensions or tricep pushdowns. And I'm also a big fan of doing stuff in the higher rep range and doing alternate tricep pushdowns to hit each tricep individually rather than with both at the same time. Moving into alternate lat pull downs. So I'm holding initially in a squeezed position. This forces the lats to work with an isometric contraction. And I'm also sitting on the floor, which is a slightly different angle. So, like, my feet aren't visible, but I've kind of placed my feet wide apart. That almost removes any leverage that my legs could provide in order to bring the weight down, and it feels like, at least for me, I'm able to get a better recruitment of my lats doing things this way. It is also unlike other pull downs in the sense that it's coming at an angle, and I think when there's a slight angle involved, it helps target a little bit more of the thickness of the back. Um, Doing the same kind of seated position for the shoulder presses as well. This again makes sure that there's no legs involved in the movement. And while I do talk a lot about using the entire body as a unit and stuff, there is also definitely place in training um, like absolute strength of a muscle. So in this case, testing out the absolute or working the absolute strength of the shoulder without letting the legs get involved by sitting on the floor. Um, yeah.
Hitting the triceps, shoulders, and back with that tricep. I'm gonna do at least 4 sets of that, and then on to something else. So now I'm gonna do a tricep with 2 back movements and push-ups as a, I guess, transitory exercise. For the first part of the tricep, I'm gonna do a lunge, but in kind of a curtsy position. Being in a curtsy position forces the piriformis to stay stretched, and when the piriformis stays stretched, I think it pulls on the bottom part of the lats a little, which gives an exaggerated stretch to the lat pull down motion. So I'm going to do that for 10 each side, then move into 10 push-ups, and then do like this modified cable row where my back is against the leg padding of the lat pull down machine, which causes for a unique contraction in the upper back, which in my opinion is good for the exercise, which I think, in my opinion, what? That's wrong English there, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is I think it's good for the upper back. All of that looks like this. when doing both the back motions, notice how I rotate my body a little to exaggerate the stretch in the back muscles. That's just a little thing to keep in mind of to get the full stretch of the lats when doing back movements. Gonna do 4 sets of this and then onto some mobility. But I'm not really sure if I'm gonna record the mobility because I've been recording a lot of it anyway, and it's usually the same exercises: cable good mornings and ATG split squats. Uh, I don't know, but let's see. There's probably at least one more part that I'll record before the end of the video. For mobility, I did cable good mornings, and now for abs, I'm going to do offset loaded sit-ups, but I'm adding a stability component to it. So I'm going to hold the kettlebell by the handle, but with the weight facing up, which forces stabilizers in my arms and chest and shoulders to work a lot harder to hold on to the weight and doing sit-ups while maintaining that hold. Looks like this. So that's the final exercise of this workout, and that's it for today's video. See you all tomorrow.